Good morning and welcome to Summerside, Prince Edward Island, and the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships. My name is Sean Turriff. I'm joined once again by Jill Brothers. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm great. It's miserable weather, and I had to walk over to the arena. But you know what? It's okay. We're here, and this is what's important. We've got a big game here in front of us. Northern Ontario 2 versus PEI1. PEI1 currently sitting at a 2-4 record. Northern Ontario 2 currently sitting at 1-5. Both teams pretty much out of the playoff picture, but playing for pride here.
Stay close. Back four in its own.
Yeah, Northern Ontario actually had a huge win yesterday. They got their first win, and it was against Nova Scotia 1, who was 5-0. So that brought Nova Scotia 1 back on their first loss. So that was, they must have played really well to get that first win, and I would expect we'll see some great shots today.
Yeah, it's a great example of why teams really just can't take anyone for granted at this event. You just never know when a team's going to come up big against you.
Yeah!
Yeah, and there's two ways to look at it when you don't have a win on the board yet. You know, do you play looser and just enjoy being there and enjoy the opportunity? Or there's also the other way to look at it, that you're really desperate to get that first win on the board and you still end up playing tight. So I think that Northern Ontario team maybe took the first option and played loose and made a lot of shots.
10, yes, please, yes, hard, let it go, hard, let it go.
Big scrub there by West to carry, but he wasn't able to hold it.
T-line.
Just out that wide.
It's like 15-5.
Found a little curl and
had to wait in practice.
slid on by. We have three other games here in the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena. On sheet B, we have BC 2 versus Quebec 1. BC 2 at 2-3 and Quebec at 2-4. We have on sheet D Alberta 1 against Manitoba 2. Alberta 1's at 4-2. Manitoba 2 is at 2-4. And then on sheet E, a big game, Nova Scotia 1 and Saskatchewan 1. This one's big for both teams, but Saskatchewan really needs this win to stay in the playoff picture. So Nova Scotia sitting at 5-1, and Saskatchewan sitting at 5-2. So we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, it's the last two games of round robin for the men and the women in these next four draws. So it's where things get very interesting. All these teams know that every game is very important to win. But yeah, everything really starts playing out in these last couple draws for the top teams in the pool. And, you know, they know they need to win to keep their hopes alive.
So with the playoff structure is there's two pools of 9 teams, and the top 3 teams from each pool move on. There are no tiebreakers, so a team can get eliminated based on the results of their last stone draw. And that was the same format that you had out at the Scotties, Jill. Is that, how do you like that format, or how does that impact how you go into it, knowing that it's only top 3 and LSDs and impact, and what's your mindset going into that?
It puts a lot of passion behind the LSD. We know it's really important anyway to get hammered to start the game, but it puts, you know, an emphasis on how important the LSD is later in the week. If you you know, have an unfortunate loss and it brings you back and you have to rely on that, you don't want to rely on it, but you better do your best work to make sure you're as close as possible to that pin. I was just looking at the LSDs today, and I was doing a little Nova Scotia research, and all the Nova Scotia teams are actually doing exceptional in that area, and it's something we work on a lot as a team at our club. So I guess we're seeing the junior teams work on it a ton too, because they're having great results right now in that area. And yeah, we saw John Epping at the Briar, you know, with a 6-2 record, not making it through because he lost to the 2 wrong teams, not really because of LSD, but that's a tough pill to swallow with a 6-2 record, and everyone knows they've had such a great year this season, and unfortunate that they didn't make it through.
PEI does have a corner guard up. We'll be trying to sink one in around it.
Still looks big.
Northern Ontario has one on the opposite side, but it's behind the T line. PEI having hammer, they feel they can safely ignore that. Try and generate a little offense here.
Yeah! Just drag it!
Yeah, case of the heavies to start the end here, but
that's good.
this one's pretty nice.
Why not?
Slightly overcurled, I can see it just a little bit out, probably 2/3 of it outside that rock, outside the guard.
Yeah, this will be a fresh path for Northern Ontario to start the first end. You know, maybe in pregame practice they threw out here once, maybe twice if they're lucky, but it is fresh.
Hard, girl! Hard! Okay, good. T-line! Yep.
It's a good shot. PEI is probably getting really familiar with this spot now, so let's see if they can put one right behind and set up their deuce.
Basically what it was in practice.
Okay. Line's good!
It looks good for top 8.
Don't jump the girl, don't jump the girl. Do not jump the girl. Line's good!
Top 5.
Shavison! Don't jump the girl. Whoa!
We got the weights there.
Shavison!
T back 4. Are we?
Whoa, just off. It's good.
Okay.
Really good!
Did we ever curl again?
Slightly deep, but it's positioned better behind the guard. Something I think you and I talked about yesterday, Jill, the amount of curl on this ice, unlike something you see at a club. This rock is dead buried, but because of the depth of the guard, still accessible.
Yeah, and they're actually coming at it from the same turn they just used for Wesley, and it's a little bit of an unusual way to see these shots made. It's not, doesn't make it wrong. It's just oftentimes you'll see teams come at it from the center line to the wing to pop it out across the 12 foot, but that was perfectly made.
Nice sweep, nice sweep.
Good weight selection there. He didn't overthrow it. Let the rock kind of do its thing and curl in behind as it needed to.
Yeah, it was really nice.
PEI third.
Nate!
Connor Bruce now
It looks similar.
attempting to
Top 8. Could be a little
try and get in behind that guard and probably freeze something on that rock that was just thrown.
It's not there. Really gotta go!
Yeah, we're definitely last.
It's a guard.
Sounds like this one's going to come up short.
16-8.
Hold down. Get there. Not now. Yeah, you can't see that glove on. Literally, my hand was
No.
down here. This slides.
Northern Ontario is going to try to put a little bit of pressure on here by putting a third rock in the rings. The full 4 foot still open for PEI, so looks like they might get forced this end, but there could still be an opportunity here if Northern Ontario slips behind the T line and allows for a freeze.
Early in the game, Jill, so you
Fear
would
the
never.
moose.
Yeah, lots of moose. Moose calls in the crowd. It's early in the game,
Yeah.
so Northern Ontario, you would never play a tight center guard here, would they?
Line's good!
I think it's a bit too late in the end at this point, and they're going to be pretty happy with a force. So he just needs to make sure that this rock is not slipping behind the T line to allow for a deuce.
Get there, guys, hard!
It's a really good result.
Just to the corner of that.
Yep.
Just there.
Yep.
Sean, this Northern Ontario team looks pretty young. Do you know, are they still in the U18 age group, or are they fully U20 now? They look like they're pretty young.
No, yeah, they are. They're all just 16, so I think they have two. No, they have one more year in U18 because the U18 age restriction or age limit, however you want to phrase it,
Yes.
changes next year. It changes to align with the school year. So these guys would have had 2 more years in U18, but because of the change, they've got 1 more year in U18. They're all just 16.
Yeah, that's always hard.
Yeah, it makes sense. And of course the kids kind of caught in that transition are impacted, but overall I think it's going to align better for kids.
Yeah, I agree. It keeps the high school kids together for that, 18 and under 18 age group. And the kids that are off to university, it keeps them together for the under 20 age group. I think it's a good change, but it is hard for those kids that do, seemingly lose a year in their age group. And it's happened a lot over the years. So everyone's kind of been through that in one way or another coming through juniors. It does happen once in a while, and hopefully this will be a change that stays for a good long time, and I think it totally makes sense. It was a really good attempt by PEI. They tried to get around it at the last second, but it just rubbed the back of it, so it's fairly open.
You got it.
Now Riley can see probably half of it. With good weight, you can pop it off and roll over.
Girl, oh, girl! Straight up! Hard! Straight up! Hard! Hard!
I'm going to struggle to get a piece. Oh, just unlucky there.
Just same path.
Yeah.
A little more ice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, either they...
He might have overthrown that a little bit, Jill. I think that might have been a touch more weight than he needed.
Obviously.
Yeah, it was either,
I know, but
I don't know what weight he called on
we're
it, but he could have straightened it on release, and with that weight, it's probably going to track a bit on this ice surface. So it's they had complete control of this end, and unfortunately, a little miscue there, and it allows a draw for 2 here for PEI, which is exactly what they wanted, and they did go really hard for it this end. So, worst case, they were going to have a draw to the forefoot, but now they've got the draw for 2.
Hair more. Half second more.
Looks like more than last.
Okay.
Slowing down, looks good.
I only need 4-8. Never gonna hurt it.
Should be top 8.
Yep,
Yeah!
They're going hard on this one to get it there.
Looks pretty good. I just got to keep on it. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good draw by PEI to get their 2 after 1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a long game coming up.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
From cash spiels to grand slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
morning and welcome to N2 of our feature match between Prince Edward Island and Northern Ontario. We're at the New Holland Canadian Junior U-20 Championships, curling championships here at Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI, men's Pool B action. I'm Sean Turriff. I'm joined by Jill Brothers. And Jill, opportunities back and forth there a little bit in that last end, but PEI capitalized.
Yeah, Northern Ontario had definitely a few more makes and had a little pressure on PEI, but PEI got away with a little bit of a sneaky deuce there with a one shot missed in the end.
Just above logo, yeah, to your brim.
Just short. You can go here. Yeah. Okay, good. Sweet, guys. Two.
Certainly with a 10-end game, there's no panic giving up a 2 in the first. There's generally, I don't think, much of a panic giving up, especially at the U-20 level, more than 2 in the first. There is a limit, of course.
Yeah, it's a long game, and the 5 rock rule is, you know, and no tick.
Yeah.
There's lots of chance for opportunity for rocks in play. And as you can see, we're going to have 2 guards right out of the gate here. And I'm interested to see if Northern Ontario is going to play around the center or if they're going to go straight to the corner and use that guard right away.
Yeah, it is a thing you see here at this event. You know, I've seen it over the years. That corner guard is thrown up often. The corner guard is used not as often. A lot of times the U-20 athletes will throw it up and then ignore it and then just come around the center. It's good to see that Riley is choosing to take advantage of it. Shows a little patience, shows a little maturity, I think.
Yeah, I find for teams that do make this play and go straight around the corner guard, they often have a lot of confidence in their seconds to be able to clear up the middle if they do get in a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
So right here is not the result that they wanted. Now PEI's got double centers, so they're probably going to have to pivot a little earlier this end than they would have liked to, and clear things up to make sure they have a path to the middle, or they still might have an opportunity to use that corner if they can get a double peel, or they might just come right in after that red too. I think they can get that one. It's a really long guard. Good chance for PEI now though.
Nate!
Yeah, it could be last. Yeah, I got to drag it for sure.
Close. Where?
It's good. T. Top 4.
Okay, top 4, Connor. Where? Nate! And I just rock, yeah. Really good.
Great shot by Seamus. That was really nice communication there on the weight. They said top 4. Perfect little nose tap. And Northern Ontario's going into cleanup mode already.
Stay.
It's good. 2.
So like 2?
Yeah. 2.
Okay, I'm gonna try and give nothing, because draw even feels like nothing, so. Okay. But less than draw, so yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Nate!
But like 3
Nate!
tight.
Yes, 2, 3.
Hardcore!
PEI pretty happy with the situation in the house. Just going to try and replace that cover if they can.
Nate! Close, yeah, right in! Whoa. Perfect.
Yeah, great line on that one.
Same weight.
Like the weight?
Yeah.
It's like they're just looking for the single peel on the red one here. I'm already eyeing up the yellow run back for some point in time this end.
I heard you say yeah.
Two.
Yep.
Did a rinse
I'm going to try to replace that guard.
I was just going to say the same thing. Did a rinse and repeat here until someone blinks, I think.
Yeah, I think Northern Ontario's either going to have to consider making a double peel if PEI sets that up for them, or eventually they might have to play that yellow run back to clean things up.
I got a little. Very tight.
Their path to the forefoot is not very good right now.
Girl, you have to get to the other side of this yellow and bounce far. You got to bounce really far. Okay, that's okay. 15-6. Probably can't roll.
Sure, running in. We'll shoot her corner.
Looking for the run back this time, not just the straight peel.
Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Yep. Whoa. 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 Yes. Yes.
Let's be close.
Good. That's sweet.
Great shot.
Yeah, really good. Gets rid of one of the red rocks in the house and the red guard. Rolls the second corner over, but maybe
Just a little bit less.
could come and play later.
We'll bring it there. As long as they're not tight. That's your last.
Head tight.
Two.
Close.
Yeah, halfway.
Nate.
Maybe three.
Gotta go, it's 3.
Little tight.
Got a curl?
Okay, definitely Nate's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really gotta go. High curl.
Right
High curl,
across.
high curl, high curl. Got a bit of room.
Same
bit of room.
thing. Little bounce.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's no bounce. Whoa. Whoa. My bad. Good throw.
Okay. I'm going this side. I'm not doing it.
Little deeper than they wanted it, so this will give Northern Ontario the opportunity to maybe make a double and maybe roll in.
That a bit.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing it with probably just a bumper weight. It looks like a ton of ice to me.
Oh, curl. Hard.
Gotta move it.
Move it.
Really gotta go.
Really gotta go.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was ice for bumper, but that's a little more than bumper weight.
10-4 with that. That's the rock.
Yeah, it might have just been a combo of
They're moving there.
a little too much
Same
room,
thing,
a little
just
too much
there.
weight, because they wanted to hit that on the other side. In that situation, I really love nailing the double and really making sure that you remove that one from the top forefoot.
Same spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't need much for a guard. I don't know if it's possible to go light in the guard right now.
From like hog line in, if you're
All right, PEI's seen this line about
Yeah,
how
you
many,
could
5
really
times in a
light
row?
I just overswept that a bit.
They should have a
Yeah.
very good read on this spot.
Yeah.
The
Just
speed
make
and
sure
the
you don't
curl.
give us draw weight.
So the room placement for this is about where teams have been putting it for their last home draws. This morning, however, I did notice that they were taking a little more ice the last stone draw. So it makes sense. That broom placement makes sense because they have to cross the center line.
Just bit of finish. Right over.
Hard over. Hold on for a while there.
Yeah, and guards don't quite have as much time to curl across as well as they are shorter. Their break point tends to be a little bit sooner than a draw, but they also are not going all the way into the house. So it doesn't curl quite as much on a guard as it does for a draw typically. So you often do see an inch or so less ice on guards to be made.
Yeah.
Line-wise, that was really well done.
Hitting the guard's fine. Yeah. You just gotta hit it enough.
Yeah, great line, a little short, leaving an opportunity here for Northern Ontario to, I think they can almost get this on the nose if they're tight to the guard with a little tweener weight.
Okay, 1-1. Draw in there.
Yeah.
I thought that would roll way more.
Just got to make it good.
I thought that
Just
would roll
there.
like out for sure. I guess the weight wasn't huge. Neither rock left. So, yeah.
Just draw.
Good attempt. It seemed like that red rock was a little bit dead coming out of the house. It seemed like it just did not want to spin
just a
anywhere.
Tiny bit more.
Yeah, even the sound when the two rocks hit, it was almost a chunk as opposed to a snap.
Yeah.
Opportunity here for Prince Edward Island to
Back 8.
bury one.
Huge. Back 8, back 12. Really has to bite.
You're gone. Nothing I can do.
Sounds like Isaiah's a little heavy on this one.
Yeah, it's way more than your last.
Huh? Same weight or more?
I feel like you touch more than
This is the last one.
nuts.
It's about the same I saw as the other one. Do they count?
Riley pretty committed to this shot. He didn't really even think about the draw too hard. And there is quite a distance between those yellow rocks out in front of the house and this one back 8-ish.
Yeah, from what they said, it sounds like you can see about half. So this is definitely the call. A chance to tie up the game. And unfortunately for PEI, they could have put quite a bit of pressure on Northern Ontario there. With that draw slipping through, you leave the ability here to tie the game.
This one's going hard.
Still early in the game, little fresh out there.
And PEI takes one more and to make it a 3-0 game. We'll be right back, folks.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient that can produce food for the world.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
It's here.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. My name is Sean Turriff. I'm here with Jill Brothers. We're watching the Northern Ontario 2 men playing the PEI 1 men, Team Dalton from PEI versus Team Winters from Northern Ontario. A couple of unfortunate misses there, Jill, in that last end.
Yeah, PEI had a chance to apply some pressure there and was a little heavy on a draw. And then Riley from Northern Ontario, skipper, had a chance for to get the deuce and tie the game up, but unfortunately he probably hit a bit of a fresh path, being only the second end. He had to go out to the wings to make that hit, and looked like he might have been a little bit light on that. Racked on the guard and gave up an unfortunate steal of 1, which gives PEI the 3-0 lead early in this game.
With 10 ends, it's a much, I've said this before, it's only 2 ends, but only with air quotes, because it really seems to add a lot of time and opportunity for you to crawl your way back. Is that how it feels to you?
Yeah, there's 2 ways to look at it. If you're down 3-0 in the third end of a 10-end game, there's lots of time. You'd rather be down 3 right now instead of in the 9th end. And even in the 9th end, there's still time, right? But if you're up by 3 and it's only the third end, you got a long time to hang on. So you can't just go full defense for PEI. They're still going to need to score more points in this game. So right now they just need to limit Northern Ontario to a single or a deuce, and they'll be happy, and then they get the hammer back. So for both teams, there's still a lot of work to be done, and no one can say, oh, we're out of this game, or oh, we've won this game. There's just too much game left.
What a big scrub there by Northern Ontario. Those boys went all the way and sunk it in there.
Just board!
Unless you got most of it, 3/4.
Yeah, there's no way that was going to be in the house without that work.
I saw it coming to the guard and thinking, oh, it's gonna tap and it's gonna sit right there, and they just kept pounding it. Really good.
It's like when you suck in your belly to get it by the guard, even though we have no bearing on what's happening.
Close.
It is poking out the other side slightly, but tricky spot. Yeah, I will try and chap it out of there.
Good.
Solid shot by Seamus.
They're really nice because it actually sits there for second shot.
10.
In a way, it does leave a second corner guard for Northern Ontario. However, you can see about the whole thing, so it can be raised. Even if Northern Ontario makes a pretty good shot, that red is very usable.
Touchdown.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Gotta go line.
Just keeping a sideways eye on the Nova Scotia 1, Saskatchewan 1 game over there. It's 1-1. It plays in the third.
Okay.
Same shot, yeah.
Board.
Same weight.
Once again, that's a big game for both those teams. Saskatchewan currently sitting at 2 losses. There's a glut of teams in this pool that have either 2 losses or, in Nova Scotia's case, 1. So there's 3 teams with 2 losses currently. Nova Scotia sitting at 1 loss. Saskatchewan would love to bring them back to the Nova Scotia team back to a 2-loss position, but obviously Nova Scotia wants to try and get that first place position in the pool, and a win here would go a long way towards that.
So Seamus just had the opportunity to make the exact same shot he just made. Northern Ontario coming in with a great draw, but it's always frustrating when you know you're leaving that shot back to your opposition. So no mistake by PEI to make that, and the weight control was great on that shot too, to just, just play hack bumper weight to just dump the yellow out of the rings, and now they've got another one in the rings.
Top 4. T.
It's the same shot again? Run it back? He's right into the yellow?
Really good draw weight there by Grayson, but...
it's lined up, right?
But it's lined up.
Same thing, it's basically nose.
Yeah, you got nose.
And I got all of it.
Yeah, nose or a hair high here would be good for Connor.
Boyd, I think.
Yeah, board
It's hard from the other end to see exactly how far apart everything is. So he really has to trust his skip on where this rock needs to be hit.
Just slide out with decent, like not a huge shove.
You can see from that angle the nose was perfect. You're going to keep everything right in a line.
Seamus!
Order less. What's soft? Yes.
Whoa!
Yes. 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 Yes.
Seamus!
Yes. Yes.
Whoa! Seamus! Yeah!
On the yellow ones up.
Yeah, get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out. All the way up, all the way up. You got time?
Again, the weight control on these hits is amazing. PEI team is playing it with very precise hack weight just to remove the rock.
Right. I was just thinking enough to do the job, and that was a brilliant shot.
Mine's here.
I'm overthrowing that 9 times out of 10.
Can't bounce, guys.
It's so tempting. It's so juicy. And oh, bang, bang, bang! I can get it out. But to be able to dial it back like they did was very impressive. Now, if Northern Ontario can avoid putting this in behind that line, they did. It's right in behind the yellow guard.
I like hack on this. Touch the guard and roll, that's okay.
But as we said before, because of the amount of curl on this ice, a long guard doesn't really guard very well, and they think with hack they can probably tap this out.
Yeah, it's hard to hide, and that was a really close shot, but it just nicked off there. The positive thing for Northern Ontario here is that they're forcing PEI to play the other turn.
Yeah! Okay, Seamus, no roll.
Okay.
Okay, just a bit thin, that's my bad.
All right, so that's going to turn the end around a fair bit here. He played that really lightweight again, and it did take off on them. They couldn't hold it. So sometimes the lightweight pays off, and then sometimes it takes off.
Yep. Yep. Oh. Yep. Yep. Please. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yep.
In a perfect world, I think Northern Ontario would like that roll.
It's good. That's right.
Nose isn't horrible.
You just gotta roll to it. You can't really move it. The red's in the way.
Yeah. I mean, if you know,
we can roll under
yeah,
at least.
like just control.
Yeah,
just
cool.
control there.
Well, if you can roll over top of it, then you can roll onto it.
Yeah, Sean, they're just looking for the roll here because, as you can see, if you hit that to try to make the double, you're pretty likely to jam right into that red. So they want to set something up for Isaiah's next shot to see if they can remove that other yellow one.
3/4, roll just over there. Get play over there so we can make a double.
This isn't going to move much?
It'll move.
Okay.
The rocks are bouncing good. Control's quick.
To roll to a relatively precise place.
Like 11, control.
Can't roll into the open really. You can't overroll.
Yeah, you could roll into it.
Harder roll. Okay. Need more line on that.
You have so much space to roll. Yeah, you're never jamming.
Great throw, just a little underswept on the line call. They could have hit a bit less of that rock to get the bigger roll.
I still think I like that weight call though. He didn't overthrow it. I think the temptation there was seeing the big long roll and thinking, oh, I have to throw more weight to get it to roll. But PEI resisted that, and I think that was the right choice. Like you say, I think it was more of a needed to get on it a little earlier and keep it a little straighter to catch it a little thinner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was just a little bit of line management there, and rolls are so hard to call. You need the guys that are sweeping to really give you that weight call so that you know how much of that rock needs to be hit to make the proper roll. Yeah, I think we all know at this point that hit and rolls are very difficult.
And we've talked about the sharpness of the rocks and the liveliness of them, and it's something maybe these athletes won't be as used to, because they're going to be much sharper than what they would have seen at the clubs.
I mean, same shot, right?
Just same
That was a
thing,
nice
try
shot.
to roll in front of it. Control there.
Much a carbon copy of what he just tried.
Yeah, looking for a little bit more precision this time to roll in front of yellow, but still stay shot. And then that's going to make things really hard on Riley.
We would have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rocks and arena ice and that learning curve is really interesting. Even this year, the rocks we used at the Scotties, we found that the weight transfer was, you know, if you wanted to make a tap, you had to actually hit it a little harder than you would think. In one of our clubs that we practice here in Halifax, we find that the transfer is like, it really pumps really far as soon as it hits. So you have to learn those things really quickly when you're playing in these championships.
No, none. Yeah, that's okay.
That was a great shot.
On the beat.
Is this easier?
No, we're still on the beat.
Okay.
We sit right here.
You like 11?
Yep.
Same way.
Same way, yep.
Tricky shot here for Riley to stick. It's there, but it's a little bit tricky. He certainly doesn't want to over curl.
It's like same way.
Yeah, Isaiah learned from his first one and made his second one perfectly. So yeah, this is a touchy little shot.
No. Right. So I asked if the straight double was easier. He just wants just off nice. Can you go ahead more? 11.
They said an 11 for the weight, so that's a nice light hit weight, probably to the boards or maybe a little bit more than that. So just a hair high on this to hit and stick for 2.
Hard! Yep! Yep! Hard! Yep! Hard! Really hard! Right up!
Working this one hard.
Right up! Yeah.
Just a little bit too much of it and rolled for 1. Northern Ontario takes 1. 3-1. We'll be right back.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Every venue strives to create the ultimate fan experience, one that leaves audiences cheering for more. DDG and LG Display are here to help you make that vision a reality. LG delivers unsurpassed imaging with its world-class technology and exceptional support. With versatile multi-sport display systems and proven revenue-generating opportunities, DDG ensures to deliver the best seat in the house. Contact DDG today, always delivering the best fan experience.
Blind's fine.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. We're at Credit Union Place. My name's Sean Turriff. I'm with Jill Brothers, and we're being entertained by Prince Edward Island 1, the Dalton team, and Northern Ontario 2, the Winters team. Northern Ontario taking 1 in that last end. Had a chance for 2, Jill, but couldn't quite convert.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy shot, and they swept it the whole way, and you know what? They still resulted with a score of 1. Steal there would have been pretty tough. So they stayed close. They pounded it the whole way, and they still did get their single. So we're going to see the offensive let's steal some points lights go on now for Northern Ontario. The long center guard was placed. He's going to go in with this second one, which he could opt to do an additional center line guard. But right now they're really going for the force. Force or steal would be good for Northern Ontario, and PEI would probably not be too disappointed if they scored a single here. That would get them the 3-point lead back.
That rock missed, that yellow rock missed that red rock by, I don't know, molecules, not very much.
Yeah, it also shows the importance of staying really close to the rock and being ready to sweep at all times, because, you know, you also want the skipper to decide, do they want that all the way around or would they rather a wick? So the sweepers need to be ready for those calls. I've seen a few times the sweepers kind of drop off because it feels like there's no hope for the rock to stop, but you always have to be ready. The skip might change their mind and do a plan B.
Corners a bit.
Yep. Looks like top 8.
Where?
Top 8, top 4. To bump it. Yeah. We're like top 4 team.
Okay, Seamus. Big spin. Okay.
Okay, he opted to play the bounce off there, which is pretty decent because there's no easy double there for Northern Ontario. So those rocks are in a pretty decent position in the control zone.
Almost same weight as this.
Okay.
Spot line.
Yeah. 4.
Do you like coming this way, Jill, or would you have taken the other turn?
Touchdown.
Yeah, I don't mind this. Like, their objective now is to get some of the PEI stones behind the tee line so that they can get a little backing into play and try to get a deuce going that way, because they didn't play a corner guard this end, did they?
No.
They're trying to steal.
Right.
So they want to get the, they want to be able to bop some of those PEI rocks back. That's a nice result.
On the red?
Getting in front of them, but they can't leave too many PEI rocks hanging around unless they're behind the tee line, and then they become friends.
Yeah, and to your previous point, it gives Northern Ontario a little bit of control over that area, because they've got something they can promote now.
Like, how much is it? Has it changed at all?
Yeah, we might see PEI rip this center guard too if some trouble starts brewing, just so they can have an open shot in the end, with Northern Ontario trying to apply the pressure to force or steal.
Like top 5.
It's going to be quicker out there too, just watch it. Line's good, it's Nate's. 15-4, just as far as you can get it. Okay, that wasn't quick out there, that's my bad. Peel.
Yeah, that's a helpful rock for Northern Ontario right now. That's another center line guard, so Northern Ontario is going to try to take a little bit of control here and get rid of PEI rock.
10, up! 9!
Slash!
Whoa! Yeah, yes! Whoa! Yes! Hard! Okay, that's fine.
Oof. Almost got lucky. Almost caught that other red one. I think if he had, though, he might have jammed it. He might have come off the back of it and jammed it back on the yellow one.
Yeah, which wouldn't have been terrible because even if they jam, that's going to be back house, and that's something they can use. I think they could have played that quieter weight that we've seen a little earlier in this game to make sure you keep your shooter. Now PEI is ready to open things up and make sure they've got their shot for 1 and hopefully for them still 2.
That's good. 8-2.
Oh, I hate guarding.
Light's fine.
Let's make this a nice T line. There's a big pocket there, so. 4-2-ish, 4-1-5.
You got it.
Look, it's there. I didn't give it much though. Yep. Yep.
Hard, guys.
So Wesley's looking to come around everything here and grab a piece of the button. They still have a guard up front. It's a PEI rock, but they still want to use it. Oh, sorry, am I wrong there? I thought they called it all come around.
They did. They called it come around.
Okay.
He just pulled the string a little.
You know what? This is decent. This is okay.
Yeah, it's a really good result. I mean, if you're gonna miss, that's the way to do it. Certainly didn't want to plop one back 4 or back button there.
T-line.
Try to the forfeit, T?
Yeah.
Right, PEI went for the 1 peel, but now they're going back to, we're shot raw. Let's just try to get another one in here and get a deuce right in the middle.
Light's good. T-line.
They figure the double peel's a bit too hard, so they're going to try to beat Northern Ontario in there, but this guy looks a little heavy.
Back 4, back 8.
He does, and he's not on that yellow one at the back yet. It is
Look at
starting to
that
walk
curl.
over. Yeah.
She's got to stop. You're not coming over now.
Make it nice. Got his pocket.
Taking a peek over that Nova Scotia-Saskatchewan game really quickly. Nova Scotia cracked a 2 in the 3rd end. Now leads that game 3-1.
T-line, guys. Eyes up.
Line's good.
Weight's good. Air heavy. To the back. Little bump.
This one's a little heavy too. They're trying to move it over there.
Nice. T-line.
Yeah. It's a tiny bit less.
Little case of the heavies here, 2 back-to-back, and you have to remember this is rock number 4 down the same path, so this is speeding up with every rock, so the communication for that is really important. You can't just say, take 2 feet off. You need more than that right now because this is getting faster with every rock.
Take a look.
Yeah, it's got T.
14-7. Okay, have to go right in. Hard curl. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, this is first. I looked at
It
that.
slid a lot further than they were expecting, so Northern Ontario really has to pay attention to how fast this path is getting.
Like 2-5 greenish.
Seats all 4, guys.
I like 2-5 greenish.
Yeah, let's get a nice one in here.
What?
Let's get a nice one in here.
Yeah. You like 2-5-3?
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. You got it. Make it nice.
It's a great opportunity for Northern Ontario. Riley can nail his draw weight here. They're looking pretty decent to maybe grab a steal.
T-line sounds good out of his hand.
Hard.
Working on it for the curl.
Right up.
Yep, keep going. Bounce. Touch.
Okay. No. The last shot was 14-1 and like 2 feet wider. That's like a second, maybe a second and a half.
They have a really
slower
good
and way
tap.
tighter. Like there was a good chance that crashed.
I think nose is good, but if
That was the lightest one we've seen down that path, and it took off early. They were on that the whole way, so I think it was just probably always going to be light by the looks of where it landed. If it didn't wick, maybe they would have grabbed the top 4 because it only wicked by a little bit. But the rock's in a really great position, so that's what PEI is trying to figure out right now. PEI is sitting 2, but that yellow rock is definitely in a problem position for PEI right now.
So do you like the...
Even there is bad.
Yeah, like there, right in front.
Yeah.
Just there. That's the ice.
Where is it?
Middle of the 12.
Just behind the yellow. Why not on top of the yellow?
So it sounds like they're trying to put one right on top of it.
Why not over the yellow?
Like nose the yellow?
I don't like hitting
corner
it.
of it so that they can't tap.
But they have to be kind of careful here that they don't just leave the tap.
Pretty much the shot. Corner or right on?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So they're looking at an angle freeze shot. Is that the final decision?
Yeah, I think they're trying to go just off the center line of it, so it angles away into the side.
Okay. This is a really precise shot. I don't mind just, playing a 3 or like a tight guard, little out of the rings. That makes the angle a little bit more complicated versus making that perfect angle freeze.
Just stop. Just have to stop. Okay.
Just like that. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
passionate just stop puts it in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Not much more than
But with the way this
can do with that now, though.
that their top 12 rock is no longer that helpful. However, with the way it curls, do you think he can get around that? Or I feel like that's still there.
I think they can. Yeah, I really think they can. I think they could get in there for shot, actually.
I think draw. You just threw it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if it does hook in there and they're hair heavy, even if they come to that back red one, they're still going to be shot.
Yeah.
That's I feel like it curls that much. I feel like that's possible.
Yeah, it will for sure. And this isn't, again, watching the last stone draw, the ice has been pretty consistent since that time. And this is close-ish to where they put the broom down for that. And they were pretty close to the button. So, yeah, there's lots of curl there. I think they can get it there.
Yeah, they're only concerned with where this rock stops, and the precision is that red one at the top 4 can be advanced depending on where this one stops. So, first thing is let's get shot rock out of this. Riley's got a really great slide and puts a great handle on the rock.
Top 4. Gotta go.
Sweepers like it. There's room right now. It's starting to cut now as the weight comes off it. He has better weight than he did last time. Oh, just a little unlucky.
Yeah.
Oh, they worked that all the way. Really good effort. Just a pinch light. So grab the curl a little bit early.
You need what, just like most of the 4?
What?
Mostly in the 4?
I think any in the 4.
Any in the 4.
Touching the 4.
Okay. Can you go back into that yellow and be shot?
Maybe. I think you'd be in the 4, yeah. It's close.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, they're moving to the other side of the sheet now, so PEI's got to communicate the fact that this side of the sheet's been sitting the whole entire end almost. So, they do need a pound more than the other side of the sheet that's been used over and over again.
He hasn't underthrown it. The weight is coming off nice.
It's not Nate.
13-9.
That's to your point. It's quite a bit stiffer out there.
What a great shot.
Yeah, fantastic judge too.
That was a great educated guess.
So PEI takes a big 3 here in 4 to go up 6-1. We'll be right back with the 5th end.
This is a message from the Peasants, from the Ho family, from Sophie and Philippe, the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. This is a message from over 1,000 family-owned home hardware stores, serving communities across Canada for over 60 years. Whatever your project is, we're here for you to help you build your dreams and build a brighter future together for the place we all call home. We're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Days Inn makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days Inn, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
Top 4.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships here in Summerside, PEI.
Gotta go right in.
My name's Sean Turriff. I'm with Jill Brothers. We are watching PEI 1 versus Northern Ontario 1, the PEI Dalton team versus the Northern Ontario Winters team. In that fourth end, we saw a cluster of rocks, and we saw PEI pick up a big 3 points. Jill, how did that happen?
Yeah, it was, there was opportunities available for Northern Ontario with all those rocks in the middle to sneak one in and get a steal. We saw the path get faster and faster, and everyone was a bit heavy. And then, unfortunately, Riley did a great job adjusting for that speed of ice, but it was just a little bit too light, and he had that opportunity to get in there, and they just couldn't make it happen. And PEI with the, you know, they had 2 locked down, and then that amazing draw on the other side of the sheet, 0-4 to get the 3rd point was, I mean, you know, that 3rd point puts them up by 5 now instead of 4, which is, it's a pretty big difference.
PEI seems to have called a technical timeout, and I think what they're doing is confirming whether or not that's over.
Yeah. Taking it.
Yeah, it's close.
I'm cooking.
Officials come out with
There is no measuring device. Oh,
he's got a little square there.
triangulation?
Yeah, a little triangle. But still an eyeball.
I've never
really.
seen this used on a hog line.
Yeah, it's still an eyeball. You still got to put that in the right spot.
Thank you. Close.
Ooh.
Oh, but it's over? Okay.
3.
I've never seen that done before, so you learn something new every day, Sean.
I think that's the tool they use to determine whether it's on the center line, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've never seen it pulled out for, you know what, I'm not sure if I've ever seen an official called out to make sure it was over the hog line. Yeah. Just in general. I don't know if I've ever had to do that in my, you know, only 10 years of curling in my life.
Where?
Like 2.
White's good,
3.
Connors.
Pretty tight.
Mine? No, just gotta stop.
No, it's gonna cut over.
Okay, that's good. 2, 3.
You're scared. More.
Northern Ontario here. We'll try and put up something a little tighter, I think.
It's better weight. Let's go. 3. Red. Knife.
Ever. Rinse it.
We're good. Logo. We're good.
No.
Yeah. Just your broom.
Okay.
Just wanted
it's definitely helpful for Northern Ontario that rock is over the hog line, because, you know, the now tight guard cannot be peeled very easily. So it's super high, but it's actually still, you know, fairly useful.
It's a good guard for the guard.
It's a guard. Yeah, it's a great guard for the guard.
5 rock rule in play, so PEI is ignoring those 2 stones for now.
Looks like 1.
Curl little.
Hog.
Just here.
No, it should be there.
Okay, that's good. Just curl. Sorry, my bad, Connor. Right in. Yeah, right over the center. Split. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about.
It's not something you're going to see too often is the score this lopsided and the 2 centerline guards. It might be an advantage to the Northern Ontario team eventually because it's keeping a lot of rocks in play. And, you know, if they can manage to use those guards to their benefit, then maybe you'll see a couple points put on the board for Northern Ontario this end.
Yeah, I think in general PEI would prefer fewer rocks in play, considering the score. But again, I guess it's a matter of style and preference and knowing what's in your toolbox and throwing what you can throw.
Ryan.
Top 4. I mean,
he wants to do it.
That high,
throw that.
Just over hog rock might come into play here.
Sure.
Team straight feels fine.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control.
The goal is to get a peel and a guard in 1 shot, but.
Interesting call here. Again, with considering the score, not sure they need more guards.
Inside out with a lot.
Tight, but it's snake. Yeah! Whoa, whoa! Oh, I almost dropped it. My bad.
That's fine. You want 7?
Okay.
Yeah, Spurs.
3.
Okay, that guard's out of their way now.
We roll to a corner. That'd be nice.
Not a shot you practice very often is the
deep one.
peel on a guard that high. So Northern Ontario really wants, obviously they need a deuce here, but they feel like these guards are in a problem area, which isn't wrong, but they really need to keep their own rocks in play as much as possible as well.
Oh, why?
I can't hear it.
Really good shot, actually. Now they've got one in and have control over the center.
Not the call. I think they were aiming to hit and roll away, I think. But it's a great result. That little red one clung on the back there. It spun back.
Greasy little shot.
Yeah.
Close.
Second.
Nate.
11.
Hey!
This one's really curling. That little biter at the back. Oh, nope. Thought it was going to angle towards it, but
Hard out.
Just make this one nice.
and that one hangs on.
In between your 2 draws last time.
Yeah, that needed to be played with a little bit more weight because you really want to make sure that you're clearing the front. Again, we're seeing these double centers come into play for Northern Ontario now. They've got that one that hung on in the back. So that's shot rock. And now if they can loop around here, we're going to draw play to center. However, PEI might have to make a nice draw or look at a run back. So it's going to mix things up a little bit.
It looks here. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay.
We can draw to him, right?
Well done. That one's completely buried behind that center
Top
yellow one,
eight.
and you can't get to the nose of the center one to run it back because it's half.
Yeah, really nice weight.
Yeah, corner buried under the
just
red
top
one.
four,
Yeah,
right?
no, excellent weight and good
Top
judge.
You can definitely get to it.
Little
Like a
out.
lot.
Good.
Top 8. Top 12.
Good.
It's Nate.
Look for top 8.
Close.
Amen.
Shoot on top 8, yeah.
Seamus! Seamus! Hard! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Really good.
Really nice weight on that shot to freeze bump on that yellow one in the forefoot.
Yeah, that definitely closes down the scoring area for Northern Ontario. They're still shot rock. They're going to try to get a second shot in here now too.
Heads up. Line's good.
Oh,
It's more. Coming down.
stay close.
Line.
Street.
Gotta go, guys.
Street.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Hard.
This one's moving big time.
That's all right.
Not touch more weight than movement.
Move it where?
What? How much?
Move it where?
Just from there.
Like a third. I don't love it.
That's not going to happen, I don't think.
I mean, you just got there.
I don't love
Yeah,
it.
but now you have like a...
That. Right now, that.
Maybe half the rock. Yeah, but their rock isn't right now.
Red one really isn't poking out very much. You can see a sliver of it, maybe a third. I think they said I can see.
I don't love
maybe
the
a
hit
third
right now.
from here.
Just top 4 beside it. Try not to.
Beside which?
Beside their one in the top 4.
Yeah, it's
Okay, the one
definitely
that just did?
usable.
Or the one we tapped up?
The one we.
It looks like they want to loop everything around.
Little more.
Good.
So be big. Back 4, back
Slow
8.
slide, but T-line.
Back 8.
Easy, watch it.
T-line.
Back 8.
Ready up. It's got to bite.
Back 12, back 8.
It's not slowing. You're still back.
Back 8. 13-8. I can't do anything.
It's a little bit heavy. There's nothing to play off
Oh, I'm such a.
as the audible straight heavy.
Really big.
A bit of a lost opportunity there for PEI.
No,
Northern Ontario now can come in there and hopefully sit 2.
Yeah, I really didn't mind PEI playing on that red rock to make sure they removed the Northern Ontario rock top 4. You know, they elected to play that draw to the button. But with the scores the way it is, I really like them opting to remove the top 4 rock. So a little chance here for Northern Ontario.
It runs it in too.
Yeah, but even if it doesn't, you will have a shot for 3.
Yeah.
He can see, what, a quarter of that red now?
Yeah.
Hey?
He thinks a third.
So he's got that, and he's going to be shot. Probably playing this. Yeah, you run that red into the yellow, open everything, lose your shooter.
Yeah.
Then you'll have the yellow from this side. Even if he makes that red, you'll have the yellow this way if it's open. Gives you more options.
Yeah.
So Coach Steve DeCarey, during his intervention, advising to open that front up a little bit, try and give themselves more options.
Maybe an inch off.
Yeah, they're really looking to try to kick that red one off the top of the yellow top 4 so that they can have an opportunity to score more than maybe a deuce.
It's close.
Oh.
That's a really tough break.
That's a tough break, yeah.
Play that and make him take 1. Stick half. Like I really don't hate it. Or you just come around. What?
I'm not sure though.
Right, like if you hit it, they take one.
I don't even know what the house looks like right now.
Just an update on that game against Nova Scotia 1, Saskatchewan 1. Nova Scotia is leading that 3-2, and Nova Scotia has the hammer in 5 right
There's
now.
kind of enough of a gap between the red and the yellow that you could probably hit so you don't get the red out.
So you can be
I think
anywhere
you'd to like 12.
just on the outside edge of this red one, right?
You can hit
So
a board.
you can be
board. I can see the
your guard can be right in line with that.
Yeah.
So make
Coach
sure you
Dennis
take lots of
Watts out for the interaction. It's only the second one we've seen this game, so they're in the 5th end, so they may as well use that and have a quick chat with their coach to make sure they're making the right decision. And it looks like they're opting to guard up the shot red rock here.
What are we doing?
Guard.
Guard where?
Little this side of the red, like that half.
Cool. Yeah, does not take much to get guard weight.
Yeah. But this is 13.5 T-line, so I know.
Yeah. Just make sure you have good rotations, or it's going to cut over.
Strike 2. Hold there for 2. 2, 3. Always Seamus. He's a little.
Yeah, 2.
Right in between the 2.
1, 2.
Okay, you guys are dropping. One. Hold it on.
Want anything?
Just can't curl.
And let it stop.
Yeah.
Good communication there prior to the shot, just establishing the weight and the path.
Yeah, with so much curl, it's hard to place those guards perfectly. It's really sensitive depending on how far that rock is sliding. So if they kept sweeping that rock, it was over curling for sure. A couple more feet and that rock is pretty close to the center line, and then Northern Ontario's got the opportunity for a deuce. It doesn't look like they have anything on that red, so now they have to draw for their single. Mission accomplished by Prince Edward Island.
Full 4.
I like that, guys.
Line's good.
You gotta go here.
Full 4.
Yes.
Close. Full 4. Straight.
Sweepers like it so far. Looking good coming over the hog line.
Sit.
Just needs to sit.
Backing off now.
One ref.
Just a touch light, and PEI will pick up one more after 5 to go ahead 7-1. We're going to take a short break here while the teams reconvene, and we'll be right back.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
This is a message from the Peasants, from the Ho family, from Sophie and Philippe, the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. This is a message from over 1,000 family-owned home hardware stores, serving communities across Canada for over 60 years. Whatever your project is, we're here for you to help you build your dreams and build a brighter future together for the place we all call home. We're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Days Inn makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days Inn, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
Welcome back. We're at the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena and the New Holland U-20 Canadian Junior Curling Championships. We're watching Prince Edward Island 1 and Northern Ontario 2 in our feature match. My name is Sean Turf. I'm with Jill Brothers here. Jill, big first half for PEI. Not so much for Northern Ontario. What do you think the teams are talking about during the break?
Northern Ontario, they started off the game in really good position, but they're just missing some key shots that are getting the points on the board, and PEI is pulling out some big shots that are getting the points on the board. So, you know, there still are 5 ends left, and trailing by 6 isn't where you want to be for Northern Ontario, but we're not going to give up yet. I've still got more time. Sean, do you have more time?
Yeah, I got lots of time for this. I love it.
All right, perfect.
2,
Just looking around the arena, we have British Columbia and Quebec to my left. Currently, British Columbia men are leading 5-3 at the break. Beside us, we have Alberta and Manitoba. Alberta leading that one 3-2. And in the game we keep talking about with big playoff implications, Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan, they are now playing in 6. Nova Scotia currently enjoying a 4-2 lead.
Just off then. Or Seamus in. Yeah. Seamus in.
Yeah, okay.
It's good. Yeah, a little bit. Light's fine. Not a lot.
4 or 5.
All right, we still got a couple guards to play with in this end. We've got a corner, we've got a center. So again, with that center guard going up, I do think that's a bit of an advantage for Northern Ontario just to be keeping some rocks in play. Normally with this much of a lead, it's, you know, an opportunity for a team to maybe pile a couple in early in the end and then peel away. But they like to play it a little bit more aggressively and throw up a guard. It worked last end, so they're hoping it's going to work again this end, right?
Yeah, and I get the impression that the PEI doesn't love throwing the peels. So they're kind of sticking to that game plan that they're comfortable with and the shot selection that they're comfortable with. And like you said, it's working for them. So, you know, why change up, I guess? I guess the one risk is they get too many rocks in play, give up the big end, and let Northern Ontario back into the game. But at the same time, again, work to your strengths maybe.
Connors!
Good.
Yeah, and we talked about their light hit weight being, you know, they nailed some great shots earlier this game with that light hit weight. So they have mastered that. So maybe the peel weights aren't their favorite shots, and this is the way they keep a lead, right? It's whatever you're comfortable with in this kind of a situation, because there are probably going to be rocks in play because of the 5 rock rule. So they like to defend by putting some rocks in play. Keeps it fun for us.
Yeah. Northern Ontario now electing to come around this double center guard and freeze to that one in the top 4.
Yeah, like we saw last end, you do have to end up addressing these rocks down the center, because it is one frustrating thing when you're the team that's down and teams play in this fashion and they clog up the middle. You kind of have to end up being the one that is doing the peeling. So now Northern Ontario has thrown up another guard from PEI, so it's going to be hard for them to generate points in this situation where they're going to have to be playing around the center line again after this peel.
Not a great release.
Seamus saying there that wasn't his favorite throw.
Really tight, just shoved it to the boards. Just shoved it.
Okay.
Break there for Northern Ontario. But again, looks like they're going to have to guard that, because playing around the center just leaves the double there for PEI.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to keep guarding a little bit right now. If PEI makes the peels, after a little while, they'll probably go around the center, but they, you know, maybe they'll get another little miss from PEI and keep those 2 rocks in play for the remainder of the end.
Top 12. 3.
This guy's a little heavy.
3. Logo. Sit.
Oh, great shot.
Right on top of the New Holland logo. And pretty much covers the rock they need to avoid the double.
Am I hitting the outside of it or the inside?
Yeah, just a little outside.
You see the outside of it? Yeah, that makes sense.
So we call this just a hair high, so they're going to run it back to the rock top 8 and try to lose the guard rock and lose the one back 8.
Whoa.
7-5.
This one's coming in a little hot.
Nate.
In a good way.
Okay. Guard. Just a hair wide.
2.
Good job. That's That's all they really need to do, I think, at this point. The jam is and the run back is great, but getting rid of the guard keeps it open.
Yeah, it's nice, and oftentimes when you play those run backs, you can leave your own shooter up there as a guard as well, so that's always going to be plan B.
Whoa. Oh, look. 2.
Where?
2, 1. Oh, 2, 1. Line's good. Whoa. 2. Whoa. It's gonna stop.
The line worked out really nicely.
We're up 6. Just get rid of this one. That's fine.
Yeah, I like it. Easy kind
like board.
Just a reminder to his team there that scoreboard's important in shot selection.
You can't really see the other one.
I think, personally, the guard still is the shot, the rip, but again, comfort level and what the skip's seeing is what they got to play.
Yeah, I still like the rip because those 2 rocks are set up for a double.
Take 11.
Seamus!
Just kind of stick with peeling the guard, and eventually you should have a chance at getting rid of both of those rocks.
Nate! That's good.
And to your point there, Jill, now that guard's still there. I'm not electing to use it, but they could sink another one around there, and potentially look at getting more than 2. Now the danger of that obviously is that they throw one around the center and PEI throws one. They throw one around the guard and then PEI throws one around the center and then takes the end away. So I'm sure that's what Riley's thinking. I better get to the center before PEI closes that off for me.
Yeah, you can see they're trying to work this one over to get it to stop. Okay, that does the trick. This one in the 8-foot is basically fully open. On the last PEI rock that came down from Connor, he actually hit the other rock than what they had called. So this one you can actually see a lot of. He actually hit the one that was harder to hit.
So you need to get like right by the guard?
So we're looking to play this really tight to the guard and get the roll under. Maybe even the roll under to the center is what I saw.
Last one, and you almost flash it.
Okay.
You can hear their comment on how much it curls there. And you can almost flash it on the inside.
9-5.
I think this is a lot of weight for this shot.
Shoved it out.
Fuck. Oh, man.
Yeah, that last one that they threw that did catch that top one was quite a bit lighter.
Yeah, it was really quiet because you can see it hung around in the end of the rings there. So they said he shoved it out, so it might have been a little bit of a combination of a little too much towards the broom and a little too much weight.
Okay, guys. Even if we're top 8, that's fine. You got it.
It's a great opportunity here for Riley.
Top 4! Top 4!
Yes! There you go, line!
Line's good, street!
Line only.
Street!
Line looks really good.
Yep.
Just
hard,
weight.
Yes! Hard!
Weight's really close as well.
Hard! Curl! Hard!
Still just, I think roll end is the best shot.
It's not perfect, but it does do the trick. They're sitting 3.
Okay, yeah.
PEI's looking for the hit and roll under here, but There actually is an opportunity to use that rock that's just biting the top gate now, if he makes the shot.
A little big again on this one.
Fuck me. Oh my God, are you kidding? Are you kidding? I'm such an...
Same weight.
Just a little full, little weight, a little full on the weight and a little full on the line. A big opportunity now for Northern Ontario here to pick up a big end and get right back into this one.
Yeah, Riley's just throwing that a little bit different than his teammates, I think. A little extra weight, a little more out to the broom, and they're not catching that curl. And that guard was in his eye 2 times in a row. So he really won't be happy with that result, but this is a great opportunity for Northern Ontario.
All you guys.
Riley should be close here. He just had great draw weight on his last one.
And I think if they come right to the nose of the one he just threw, they're still going to be shot, so they can't hurt it with the brushing. Weight's close, but it's really cutting. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's a very impressive end by Northern Ontario.
Big turnaround. Well done. 7-5 now after 6. And don't go away. We got a big one coming up.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
Welcome back to the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. We're at the New Holland U-20 Canadian Junior Curling Championships. We're witnessing PEI 1 versus Northern Ontario 2. My name's Sean Turriff. I'm with Jill Brothers. And here we are. We got a big game in front of us, Jill. All of a sudden, 7-1 to 7-5 after a big 4 by Northern Ontario there in the 6th.
That was fun. There was a little bit of the opposite that's been happening all game. A couple missed cues from PEI led to big 4 ball by Northern Ontario. So that tightens the game up. And unfortunately, Aiden had his first one slipped in the rings. I don't believe that would have been the call. They're calling the center guard again. So Aiden a little heavy there to start the end, but again with the 5 rock rule, they have another opportunity here to get their guard up and split center line to try to get a force or steal in the 7th.
Make sure it's open.
2 guys.
At the break, we were looking at a 7-1 game, and now it's a 2-point game, and really, in a lot of respects, it's almost anyone's game at this point. Definitely PEI has the advantage in score and having hammer, but Northern Ontario not giving up. And there's a good guard. I'm pretty sure that's on this. Yes, it's on the center line.
Yeah, yeah. They don't need to get the measuring device out on that one. I think for PEI, it's never a good feeling to give up 4 to allow the game to get within 2. However, you have to look at each other during the break and say, all right, if someone told us we'd be up 2 with the hammer in 7 against Northern Ontario, would we be happy?
Okay.
I think the answer is yes. So,
for sure. Up 2 with hammer for sure. I'd be happy.
Yeah, they need to be really positive with that mindset and continue on this game and make sure that they are scoring in this end or blanking. Would be great to take the hammer into 8.
That's lots.
And all that looks good on paper. But as a player, you know the momentum shift is a real thing, and it probably will impact them quite a bit, both teams, right? Because where Northern Ontario may have been a little crestfallen after the break, suddenly there's light at the end of the tunnel, and PEI, feeling like maybe it was a secure game, is now seeing it maybe slip away. They're in a good spot. It's just that momentum shift off can really impact your attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can probably see Northern Ontario will have a little pep in their step from making some good shots last end, as they should. And we saw a miss by PEI. They were a little heavy on their draw around the center, so Seamus is going to want to make that up here by getting rid of this yellow rock in the rings.
Okay, that's good.
Nice shot.
Yeah, nice hit and roll. 10.
It's one of those nice quiet weight shots we were seeing earlier in the game from PEI that they really seem to be good at.
Yeah, we haven't seen many open ends in this game. Have we seen? I don't think we've seen any kind of simple ends this game. So we might be getting one now, which I haven't noticed the time clocks at all. Have you? Are they playing on pace?
Well, they're right in front of me. I'll take a quick look. Actually, both teams have lots of time left. PEI has 19 minutes, and Northern Ontario has 21. So tons and tons of time. Yeah. Considering, like you said, the complexity of the ends, that's good for them.
Yeah, there's really not been too many conversations. None of the thirds are coming down to help chat about the situation. So the skippers are really making all the decisions.
There were 2 coach interactions in the first half. That resets in the second half. So each team, just for our viewers, each team at this level gets 2 coach interactions per half. And the coach interactions, during the coach interactions, the time clocks do not stop. So the coaches come out and talk to their teams, trying to untie a knot if they can, and then they're back in their seats. A typical 10-end game teams will be given 38 minutes of thinking time to play the game. Because of the 2 coach interactions with no time clock stop, these teams get 40 minutes, so only 2 extra minutes to complete their games. And it hasn't slowed anybody down. At the U18 level, a lot of the feedback was that, in fact, it sped the games up a little bit. The U18 level, they get more interactions than this. And it speeds the game up a little bit, because what it prevents is that long, laborious discussion that might typically happen at the younger levels. And the coach come out, untie a knot, and go back and sit down. Coach doesn't get to call the game. It's not in the control of the coach, because they only have a limited number of these interactions. But what it really does is provide learning in the moment, and like I said, kind of guides the players at the time.
That's even less,
Yeah.
Yeah, and unlike a traditional timeout, you often see the coach hanging around a little bit, you know, to use up. They usually use up all their time unless it's a time crunch situation and the player wants to throw the rock within that time as well. But yeah, often the coach will kind of hang out and have a bit, maybe more of a conversation because they have that timeout time. But yeah, with these guys, it really seems like the coaches come out, they say what they need to say, and then they're back on the bench. A really nice shot there by Northern Ontario.
Little flop under the guard, forcing PEI really to get back into defensive mode and get rid of this guard.
Yeah, Connor's looking to make the double peel here. They're going hard for their blank descent now.
Whoa. Just gotta make it straight back. Okay. A little more ice, that's my bad.
So Northern Ontario is pretty happy about that result. They're going to be able to put a second one in the rings here because that top one did hang around in the top 12. So Riley's going to look to, put this top 4 and put some pressure on PEI to get their single now, unless they look at playing a double or something after this.
You got it.
Quick update from sheet sheet E, Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan picking up 3 to go up 5-4. So that game is on.
Top 4. Top 4.
Yeah, I did see that Saskatchewan had a fair bit of pressure on Nova Scotia that last end, and Nova Scotia wasn't able to hit their way out of it.
Top 4.
Just a little bit light there, but PEI does have to switch up their plan a little bit with that guard jamming. Now they are going to come around and look to score their 1, maybe 2. But you got to put this in a good spot still. You don't want to give Riley a chance to freeze on the button to take the end away.
Top 8, top 12.
Yeah, working hard to get this over here. Top 8, top 12 out of his hand.
They're working hard on it. It looks close.
Yeah, we're there. Big.
They might have overcooked it a hair.
Yeah, maybe a little panic.
Overcooked. Yep. Yeah, those are tricky because right out of the hand, if you think it's light, 2 players putting their head down and going end to end, that can happen. I feel like I'm always yelling at the sweepers just to say, where is it? To make sure that they're, remembering to look up and not panic.
Try for no bounce.
So that we don't end up behind the tee line.
Right.
Behind the tee lines are often not the best place to be. So opportunity here for Riley. Throw it a little bit harder this time and nuzzle right in there on the tee line.
Tee line! I like that.
Sweepers like it out of his hand.
Curl! Nice!
This one looks wider. Third rock down this path though.
Whoa! Wait on me. Whoa! Oh my god. Just spin it off, see if we can be shot.
They tried to move that over, but it was just a little too strong to be able to do anything with it.
This is hammer shot. Good job, Nate. Remembering that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That was a big opportunity for them. Needed to be in a pretty precise spot.
It's close enough. You got to move it.
Just like you say, just a little heavy.
Did you say board?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are we maybe one or something? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like maybe one, but I think they are.
Okay. They might as well head it up.
Isaiah's going to do the safe thing here and hit that rock as they're a little unsure on who's shot rock.
11.
11 at least.
Yeah. Little big.
Nate to stick.
Hard.
Looks pretty good. He's definitely going to remove
Sounds
that
like
yellow
it's
one.
close.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That's big.
2 more for PEI to go up 9-5 after 7. We'll be right back, folks.
Days Inn makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days Inn, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
So top 8, top 4. Looks good.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian
14-3.
Junior U-20 Curling Championships here in Summerside, Prince Edward Island.
Okay, just watch those.
I'm Sean Turriff, along with Jill Brothers. And we're watching Northern Ontario #2 men and the PEI #1 men facing off. After a glimmer of hope there, Jill, for Northern Ontario.
Touch.
The light got snuffed out a little bit there in that last end with a 2 by PEI.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say to your guys, hey, we got a 4 before. Why can't we do it again? So, you know, they're going to take a positive approach to giving back that deuce. They did have a couple opportunities there with the center line guard. So unfortunate that they ended up giving up a deuce there, where they did have some potential to grab a steal there. So PEI went a little deep here on their first rock, and Northern Ontario throws up the corner. So let's see what Northern Ontario can generate this end, and let's see if PEI goes back to, you know, 1 in and a guard up and try to defend their lead that way.
Always corner close, weight only.
It looks good.
It was a cleaner end last end from PEI.
Yeah.
We'll see now if they keep it, or try and keep it clean again.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that one in the back 4 might have inspired them to go in again on their second rock, with that one not being in a great position. Northern Ontario is also going to come into the rings. I thought they might throw up another corner guard to generate some more offense.
Where? Three's fine. Three's fine. 3 here.
They're working hard.
Girl. Go line. Oh my God. Okay, sorry guys.
Well, on purpose or not, they got their second corner guard up.
Yeah, they're unfortunately a bit tight to the center line.
distance. Connor in. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a pretty long center.
If you get the top one, it's fine.
Northern Ontario looking to come through the skinny port here, but the stagger is the right way to make this shot.
Yep. Lead. Yes. Lead.
Yep.
He's running quite well. Looks like he's by the guard by a lot. Oh, what a small port.
Really nice.
Really well done. There was a lot less room there than I think I realized. He didn't miss that top red one by much.
Top 4!
And then watch him get by this yellow one at the back.
Top 4, try and really dig it.
Not a big port. It was really, really
Yeah,
good, really
I
good
sucked in
shot.
my belly for sure.
Okay.
It's a great shot.
Connors! Close! Connors!
Looks good.
100% Connors. Has to curl. Whoa, it's just got to be. It's okay.
It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good.
Yeah, still
Connor,
playing
if you
with
can.
lots of rocks.
Right here.
Not
Hard
afraid of having rocks in play, this team.
Real nice.
No, not at all. That's a great shot.
I like saying.
I like board.
We're looking at the port
You
again.
just made it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tight port. Yeah.
Yeah, Riley was looking for a little less weight, I think, on this one. I understand why he wants to call a little less weight because of how tight that port is. But
It's got to
Grayson
curl
wants
a
to
little
play the
bit.
same weight. He just made it that way.
It's curling.
We're going to just take the center on this one.
I said yes earlier.
That's not a bad result.
Say it again.
3 corner guards now.
Yep. Lots of protection on that side.
That's good. Guard's fine.
Yeah.
Just top 8. There's fine.
Okay, instead of peeling the guard, they're electing to come into the house.
Top 12, top 8.
Yeah. Right in, top 12.
Top 4.
Yeah, right to it. Yeah,
Pumping hours.
key back 4.
Pumping hours.
Got to be careful here not to build up too much of a pocket for Northern Ontario. Mind you, PEI sitting 3.
They are, yeah. If I was Northern Ontario, though, I'd be happy with that shot selection because I wouldn't really want them peeling my guard. If they peel the guard, then, you know, we've got the other guards to go around, but then that one top 4 is, you know, that's going to be taken out. So this way they've still got more rocks to play with, and they can start moving them around. They're going to play this with a little bit of weight. They could play it with a lighter weight as well to, you know, make some backing.
Yeah, I think the key here really is to keep that shooter in play, right? They don't want to lose that shooter.
Whoa!
It's down.
Yeah, even if they hit this skinny, they could use that other red one. Okay.
Yeah, I think that ended up in a good spot. The yellow-red freeze combination there is promotable to get both of those red ones off, I think. They might drag into that one. It might be hard to get both red.
I think it's jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's jamming, but it's in a good spot. So I miss that? Did PEI decide to go with the guard on the shot?
I believe they did.
3.
Yeah. It's like 3.
2.
Should be tight.
Little tight.
Top 12 if you touch it.
Line's good.
3 and it's on.
3, 2, 3.
Line's good.
3. Always 3.
Not a lot of hand though. It's cutting.
No, it's okay though. It's not cutting too far. That's good.
Okay.
9. Same. Yep.
Just on the inside.
Yeah.
Just nose is fine.
Perfect.
Oh, crook.
It's a pretty precise shot, but they can't leave the center one up, so get it out of the way so they can make a play on that top 4 one.
Same thing.
Yeah. It's a little quicker out here.
Wes, just edge. Edge of 8.
I like leave it there. We can curl. Yeah.
Okay.
You want this 2?
It's just been sticking out there a little.
You want 2?
Yeah, 2's good. 3's good.
Still got nothing for a little off.
Just looking for another guard.
3.
Psych 3.
Little tight.
Yeah, 3 is as tight as you want to go.
Yeah, 3.
If you slip in the rings here, you're going to make the shot easier for Northern Ontario.
What?
So it looks like it's running a little bit. I mean, close to the top 12, I think.
Whoa.
Whoa, never.
That's okay.
We'll have another opportunity at this run back shot.
Yeah, it knows. Feel though.
Yeah, nose hits real good here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that red is still jamming on the back red.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe it'll spin and they'll get lucky.
Yeah.
You got it.
An update in the Nova Scotia 1, Saskatchewan 1 game. Nova Scotia got a deuce. They now lead at 6-5, and they're playing in the 8th end.
Real close here. Just a slight over curl, but
They won.
it does push
They
that.
just go back and I don't know what they do.
Does break up that little pairing there in the top 4.
I mean, you freeze that. That's really good.
Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah, it just knocked that other yellow one out, unfortunately. So if they do guard, I guess Northern Ontario would have that angle slash in.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like exact same spot as.
But
Okay.
would you ever go?
Yeah.
So you want 3?
Just trying to see if there's a shot that would take away both of them, but I don't think there is there, Joe.
What?
You want 3?
Yeah.
I mean, the other shot is just taking out the yellow, and then Northern Ontario can only ever get 1.
Right.
It looks like you can see about half.
More.
Yeah, probably. And maybe PEI's a little nervous about ever
Very tight.
being light on it,
3 top
wicking
12.
across, giving it
Is
the
it
double.
top 8? Is it frozen?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got 3.
It's not frozen.
They've played
it's
the
not
card so
frozen.
many times that their chances they make it are
Whoa,
pretty
just leave
good.
it. It's good.
Who said it was 3, guys?
Yeah.
Broom goes down for the slash.
Hitting there.
It's a nice card. I do think with just back 8 weight, they might be able to make that just straight come around tap. But he was eyeing up the angle run, so here we go.
Yeah, that port. I think it's there. Just looking at it from behind the sheet, it's scary. Might be less scared of this one.
Yeah, I feel like that side of the sheet might be a hair straighter
Right.
than the other side from what I've seen, but not being in there in person, I do lose track of the paths a little bit.
And here we go. Slash attempt by Riley Winters to get his 2.
Close. Is he close? Oh.
Yeah, good shot. Bird to the 2. We'll be right back with the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships. Stay tuned.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
This is a message from the Peasants, from the Ho family, from Sophie and Philippe, the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. This is a message from over 1,000 family-owned home hardware stores, serving communities across Canada for over 60 years. Whatever your project is, we're here for you to help you build your dreams and build a brighter future together for the place we all call home. We're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Welcome back. We're at the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena here at the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. We've got the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships and a back and forth tilt with PEI and Northern Ontario. Just when you thought it was all over, suddenly Northern Ontario gets a 4, PEI gets 2 back, and then Northern Ontario gets 2 back. Now it's 9-7. Jill, it's just all over the place.
Well, Riley's got to feel good about that angle run he just made to keep his team in the game. They stuck it out and they got a deuce there, and now they've still got work to do, but you know what? I poured up a coffee because we got 2 more ends of curling.
2 points, 2 ends, and that's all that separates us at this point. We should be in for a good finish here.
Looks like a slip in to start the end. I didn't see the call, but I would assume that he would have been looking for a guard on that first one. So PEI was able to hit, and now it looks a little bit awkward where PEI is able to now go to the open side.
Looks good.
But Northern Ontario has this center guard up. So the host looked a little bit different than it normally does at this point.
Is it D? Can it be D?
Yeah.
D, yeah, here.
Oh, no, that's not D. That's not D. Whoa.
Here, it's D. Connor, go.
Yeah.
It's good.
Could always get it back there. It's kind of big.
Yeah.
Northern Ontario now looking to hit and roll in front, I think, of that rock they just threw. I think with quiet weight, they could probably do it, flip it the other way, flop under the guard.
Yeah, I agree. I think if anything, they're going under now. Oh, they won't be happy with that one.
No, that's really, really unfortunate.
Just above T.
Yeah.
C line or a little back is fine.
one of those shots where you really need to know what your plan B is. So the audible, if you're not making it under, is to roll away, but knowing that hitting the guard is just not an option. So that's something to think about just before you get ready to let go of your rock, or before you get ready to slide. Is you need to know just inside of nose or outside of nose is okay, but the overcurl is not okay.
Yeah, I said it earlier this week at one point that missing well is a big part of the battle. Nobody probably, I mean, maybe somebody would, but few players here are going to throw 100%, and you want to make sure that you're getting some advantage out of most of your shots.
Yeah, getting something out of every shot is that, and that's how the teams that end at the top this weekend, they'll be really good at missing the shots the right way. So you're never seeing zeros when you look at how these statisticians do their scoring, 0 through 4. When you see a lot of zeros, that means you are really fully missing the shot. But, if you see a 2, that means you probably missed the shot, but you still might have missed it the right way, because at least you got a half shot out of it. Those zeros really stand out when you're, if you do glance at the stats. I'm not a huge person that likes to go back and look at a ton of my stats, but it is glaring when you see a bunch of them, because as you get higher performance, you want to see them very rarely when you're looking at the stats, so that you're, at least you're missing the right way, because you are getting something, a 1, a 2, a 3, when you're looking across that stats board.
Overall, we look like we're at 2 right now. Line's fine. Line's fine.
Just a penny.
It's good. Sit.
Yeah. Fucking got trapped by him, man.
Peel.
Northern Ontario trying to get something going, putting up their center guards, hoping for a
crazy. It's just a single peel. 9 would work.
Nose hit here, hanging, or PEI hanging something out in front that they can hide behind.
That would work.
Yeah, they're really going for it with checking up another center guard there. They could just, try to clear the house and hope to try to start something again next end. But understandably, they really need to get something going to try to get a steal, or potentially just a force in this end.
You're there. Whoa.
2, 3, a little higher.
You're there.
2, same.
3 to 3, it's good.
3. Second penny. Yeah.
Okay. I like that, guys. That's good. It's good.
Second penny.
Another nice guard.
They're referring to that you can see the little dots in the ice, and those will have been put in there for the mixed doubles championships, which were just held last week.
He said that during the Quebec game.
And those are positioned there for the pre-positioning of the rocks at the beginning and the end for the mixed doubles games.
Nate! Whoa!
Oh.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Really good.
Northern Ontario now, decision to put up another guard.
It looked like we were starting out. It looked like we were
freeze.
We gotta be dead frozen. He hits me guard.
Just try making them blank, or I can get rid of these two. They're groups.
Blank, we have to steal too.
Yeah,
Sean, I don't really. I dabbled in mixed doubles last year just for extra ice time and practice. But they've got the 2 sets of pennies.
Yeah.
Are they pennies? Or are they dimes?
I don't
We
know.
don't even have pennies anymore. They must be dimes.
Currency they use.
So with the higher set and the tighter set, can you digest that?
Yeah, I think they do that based on the ice conditions and how much the curl is being experienced, I guess, on the sheet. They won't change it during a game, but they might choose in one draw versus the other. And I don't think it's up to the teams. I think officials make that decision. And I think it's just an option there in case the ice is a little straighter than they wanted it to be. Then maybe they put the penny further out. Or sorry, they put the rock a little further out, so they have established spots
Top
there.
8, no bounce.
But I really think it just all comes down to ice conditions and the option.
Yeah, because some of those mixed double shots are, if the ice isn't curling, it's tough.
Yeah. You can't play mixed doubles on shuffleboard, for instance.
Oh, just a 3.
It's not fun. I mean, it's not that fun in general with 4-person curling. So mixed doubles is a real struggle when it's straight.
You want to stick? No, don't want to stick.
Control ice?
You want to get to at least here, so.
So Northern Ontario, they're coming up a little bit light, kind of leaving it wide open here. PEI really just going to rip this out.
Roll at least to the 8-foot.
One at board and then roll in.
Because if we roll right in front of it and then they get around, it's a double run rather than just touch the red in the 4-foot, right?
Okay, so peel is cool here?
Yeah, peel is cool here. Normal, and roll like in front of the one on that side is perfectly good.
Okay.
Stay with your release. You think
Yeah.
But you want the yellow to go not over the right red, like through between.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's almost even with the right red.
No real explanation required there. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and if they just rip it, that's fine as well.
This one. No, I thought it was hanging there a little bit, but it's caught a curl, so.
Just fingered it.
Oh, just about.
They get away with it.
Yeah, they sure do.
Just do that. We can get 4 again, maybe. Like I feel like.
Can we force?
I don't think we can force.
Try to force?
We have 2 timeouts right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to try to force, they're going to have to play that freeze, and maybe PEI will elect to play a draw for 2.
He's got a draw for 2. What about a hit? Roll in front of that other one shot. Yeah, but at this point, if you freeze, he's going to draw for 2. He's not going to hit it because he's already shot. He's just going to draw for 2. We're down 4.
Yeah.
We hit and roll, hope for a jam, or he might just draw for 1 and he's up 3, or you draw around it.
He's
See if
probably
he can be
picking
shot,
if you.
and he's blasting.
We don't draw around.
That's really hard. That's a really, really hard shot. If it was higher up, like if it was top 8, draw around.
If you hit and roll, he's just picking it for 2.
Yeah, but you hit and you roll.
Yeah, I know.
Shot.
He's just gonna peel it.
Yeah. And
freeze.
But even if you freeze, he's drawing for 2.
I know. But
you gotta hope for a miss.
Like we could go, like you can go 11 and get low.
Even forward, like I think right there.
We have to make sure it's gone.
Yeah. Even if you're higher, you gotta hope for a miss, unfortunately. So just make sure you're shot, and whatever happens, happens.
You guys like 11 though?
Yeah.
Coach Steve DeCarry there breaking it down. I think he's right. It's the analogy for me is it's time to pull the goalie. At one point, Riley was worried about giving up 4, and it doesn't really matter. You give up 4 or 3 or 2, or it's you've got a hill to climb, and you do need a miss here. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was they were throwing up the center guards, but with 3 rocks in the house, throwing up the center guards does become a bit of a problem when you get to this part of the end, as they PEI was just peeling, so getting a little bit of a tough situation even early in the end when they slipped in right away. That was a bit of a tough way to start. Shows how important every rock is, right?
Absolutely.
I believe the Nova Scotia-Saskatchewan game is now tied in the 9th, 6-6.
It is tied in the 9th, 6-6.
Yes. Yep. Hard.
They really want to try and flop over it.
Big roll.
front of that one on the other side.
Still working it. They're still working it.
There you go. That's
Great
pretty good.
shot.
Yep.
Great shot.
I'm just gonna get the left side of it.
Just
We can
control
peel it,
there.
it's fine.
Like Coach Steve said, we kind of need a miss, and so they put themselves in as good a position as they can
Nose is
to
not the
get a
worst.
miss out of PEI.
Just normal. Anything high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
you could
do
double
think this
the
is
red
that
out, too.
spot that he was a little wide on 2 ends ago. Was it not, Sean?
It was his turn. It was coming the other way.
You peel it out.
It was in a different end. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was
even
this.
end.
But it was definitely this this in turn. He's given this one a little bit. It's a long way out there.
Just looking to nab a little piece of it. That's all they need to do.
I don't think so, though.
Interns.
Tick.
Oh my.
That's that intern that bit him a couple minutes
Really
ago.
struggling in that spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Northern Ontario picks up one, so we have a 9-8 game going into the 10th end. Stay tuned for the New Holland Canadian Juniors. We'll be right back.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
We're not there. Just go on.
Welcome back. We're in the 10th end of a big tilt here at the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships. We have PEI1, the Dalton team, versus Northern Ontario 2, the Winters team. And a game that I might have thought was out of reach at the break is now in the 10th end, and it's a 1-point game. Jill, we have a technical timeout. We get to see that little tool again.
Yeah, this is where I'm used to seeing it, not the hog line. So, you know what? The umpire coming out, I have known him since the first day I started curling. Greg Thorburns from my home curling club in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, and when I was 9 years old, he was definitely at the Liverpool Curling Club where I started curling. So he's done so much for curling in Nova Scotia and Liverpool. He loves the doubles game, and he's the first one to say when it came out, he thought that it was silly, and then he's the one putting in the bid for Liverpool to host the trials for mixed doubles. So Liverpool did a great job with the trials. I got to take my family down, and it was over the holidays, so it worked out for me that we go to Liverpool for the holidays every year, and we got to take in some curling this time, and they did just such a great job. And John Epping gave my son his jersey, so I was like, great, maybe he'll have someone else a guy to look up to that he can cheer for. So John's his favorite curler for sure, and cheering for mom kind of gets a little boring, so we always cheer for Rachel, see her at the Worlds. Always cheering for John. Now we got to cheer for Brad Jacobs.
So the ruling is that it's off the center line. I'm sitting right behind it. I'm a long way away, and I don't have a tool, so I don't know. Looks like it's on to me, but the official was right there, so trust he's right. PEI now going to try the tick shot. Push this off the center line.
Just pop.
You know what? It's a shot that leads don't practice as much as they used to because they don't see it as often as they used to in games. So I find the percentage on the makes of those shots it's a little lower than maybe it used to be because it's not practiced quite as much.
Right. Impact of the no tick rule, right? I guess they don't get to play it as much, so it doesn't come up as much, so they don't practice it as much, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what I do see being made more is the corner guard tick, which is always super impressive.
Yeah.
Speaking of mixed doubles, that's where that kind of came from, I think.
Go deep. Your level.
Northern Ontario would probably like to have some separation here.
Okay.
Hack.
PEI once again going to try the tick. They can't remove that guard under the 5-block rule.
Hack. Yeah. 12-5.
Close.
Last to last.
Connor.
I want to be careful they're not cute and drive it right into the rings for Ontario on behalf of Northern Ontario. But they've got a good angle on it, so.
Really good.
Nice shot.
3 ins fine.
One of my least favorite things about the tick shot is being someone that throws the peels is navigating those rocks now.
Yeah, 3.
So when you go to throw your center line peel, you have to be a little bit cuter than just having those wide open peels with those the red on the side and the yellow on the side now. So they are still a bit helpful to Northern Ontario.
Hard line. 2. Gotta go. 3. Gotta go. Really hard.
They're going hard to try to get it by that top guard.
PEI hasn't been eager to play peels up to this point, but we see them calling one now. Or maybe not. Oh yes, they just changing which one they want to hit first. Maybe not going for the double, just the single now.
Yeah. That from my angle, that double looks, if you hit the outside one first, it looks like you might always be going under.
Yeah,
there's quite a bit of separation there.
I think you're right. Nose hit isn't what they wanted.
No.
Do we hate one more?
1.
What do you think, Jill?
What do you think here, Sean?
I was tossing it to you, tossing it back.
Yeah.
That red rock is almost halfway between, and it's tough to get another one in front or even kind of behind it. I tend to personally be a little impatient. I might go in now.
Same release.
I do really see the advantage of having another center guard, though.
Just a 1, guys. 1.
Yeah, so Grayson's looking for just the 1 here.
That's fine.
Just a 1.
Whoa.
Try to clog up the front a little bit more and make those double peels more complicated.
Okay.
I think maybe Northern Ontario senses too that PEI isn't super comfortable throwing these peels. So, you know, if they, to your point, if they can clog it up a little bit more, maybe they get a little more junk to work with in front.
Yeah, you're just feeling. Pretty sure we did practice.
Yeah, Seamus needs to do a little cleanup here.
Could be wide.
This one's floating a little bit. It might catch that yellow one on the left. Oh, and that works out pretty well.
Yeah, not usually the way you're going to call it, but he'll take it.
Yeah, it gets rid of that guard situation at all, and now there's a PEI stone in there that Northern Ontario will have to at least pay attention to a little bit.
I think you're good.
Yeah, I like how Isaiah was right there, ready to sweep it, making it a usable rock, right? It's still in the middle, which is not the best place, but they got it in the house. It's a little bit less of a guard now than being out front.
Okay.
That one might have picked something. It went awfully sideways, about 2/3 of the way down the ice. Good position still. You're forcing PEI to rip it out. You can't just leave that one there.
And this is one of those peels that could, there's quite a bit of distance there, so I don't think it's going to go clunk clunk. Make the double and spin back towards the house.
It's good.
Oh, it did clunk. He hit a little bit more than he wanted to.
Those two red rocks staggered now a little bit, so it does give Ontario, Northern Ontario, I keep saying Ontario. It gives Northern Ontario the chance to come in and round them, with making a run back tricky, really tricky.
Yep, hard.
Yeah, if they can sneak this around, they're in a pretty good spot. Basically 2 center guards right now.
Might be a little quiet.
Whoa, Grayson. Whoa, curl.
Okay.
So try the double peel on the yellows?
I think we are getting later in the game, Sean, and I think we might be seeing the ice just slow down a little bit, especially coming into the center.
Yeah, I mean,
all the rocks have been a little light and over curling this end, even with the guards. Big weight coming here from Connor.
It's good.
Got the one. One's still there in the top 12, but that's okay.
We guard one more time.
They still have their coach interactions left as well, right?
Northern Ontario's used one, but I think PEI has not used either one of theirs.
Yeah, we might see those come into play here in the next couple of rocks.
They've got tons and tons of time, 9 minutes each, and they've only got a couple rocks to play, so they could, easily use an interaction with little impact. Quick peek over to Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia. Saskatchewan has popped a 3 and now lead that game 9-6. I think they're in 10. They are in 10.
Yeah, they'd be heading into 10, yeah.
A steal of 3.
Yeah, the end was looking pretty yellow.
Just a 1. Whoa. 2. 3. Whoa. 2. 3. Whoa. Pass the yellow. Whoa. Level with it. Whoa.
Northern Ontario tossing up another guard here.
Play a single peel on that.
Do you like just the draw? Take the pin, make an impossible shot to even sit, or?
Yeah.
I mean, do you not just peel it?
I want to come deep on it for sure. Make it. So you make it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
what do you think
if you peel, he's drawn in behind your red here,
And you have to make it.
So
right?
I mean,
so I like.
You could come in there. So you top 4, but you got to be top house. But
yeah.
Like I don't mind it. So you're going to take ice that's a little bit wider than draw the button kind of thing.
A little bit wider, draw the button through there.
Yep. Okay. And speed's still pretty good. So you're still looking at 14.5 range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Stare.
Huh, okay.
I'm a little personally torn. I don't know if I prefer the draw over the peel.
That's understandable. At least he has a shot to figure out draw weight.
Yeah.
Top 4, can it? Can't be back out.
It's one of those, I'm just looking at the scoreboard, and PEI still is up 1
Make him do
point.
something stupid to even sit one after this shot. Right?
Not to say that they can afford to give up a point, because I'm sure they don't want to play 11 ends. They want to win it right now. And maybe if it was tied, I'd be more inclined to definitely play the peel. But where they are up 1, this might force Northern Ontario to make a really perfect shot for that steal point.
Weight's there.
Where?
Sweepers like the weight so far.
T back 4. We're all there.
Back 4 is not what you want.
Just pin.
It's not.
Whoa, never.
Yeah, if you.
But not back
That really
4.
came down for him.
Yeah, that's a really good shot.
Yeah.
He has to play that.
It curls enough?
Still had the feeling if you do peel that yellow guard, that top red one is wide open and so usable on the next shot.
Yeah.
But he did make that shot quite perfectly, so I'll be quiet.
If we make this, he has to play that.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about before, though, playing to your strengths, right? They haven't been
Like we just need.
they haven't been terribly comfortable around throwing peels, but they've been comfortable around throwing rocks in the rings and draws and quieter shots. So it's in their wheelhouse to make that shot versus the peel, I think, too. And then the subsequent run back, right? Because that's what they would be forced to do.
Yep, exactly. And if that is not something in your comfort zone, that's probably not something you want to leave yourself.
And this one's as close to perfect almost as you can get. It forces Riley here to throw pretty much right to the button.
Yeah, it was a really nice shot. They were calling kind of back 4, and it was like, hold your breath, maybe it'll stop. And it did.
You got it.
Like 152-ish out here.
Again, that 10th end factor of stops a little sooner than you're expecting, where the ice is starting to break down.
Northern Ontario now needs a good chunk of the button here. Hope for a tie. This one's running a little bit though. Needs to come a long way. And unfortunately it's going to wreck. And teams will shake, and that's a final,
Such
folks.
a good effort
Yeah.
to bring it into the 10th end by Northern Ontario. Congrats to Team PEI.
For sure. Well, on behalf of the IKS crew, thanks everybody, and thanks Jill. That was a fun game to